Om Sadashivasamārambhām Shankaracharya-madhyamām Asmadacharya-paryantām Vande Guru-paraṁparām Dayakaram Dantam Dharma-pravartakam Pranamami Dayanandam Madacharya-varam param. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Success. Vasudevendra Yogendram Mumukshunam Hitathaya Tattva Bodho Vidhiyate. Yesterday we saw some important points. Just to give a brief summary before going further. We saw how the pursuit of this knowledge is for the sake of freedom from being a wanting person. And why this knowledge alone frees when karma actually binds one further, that also we saw. Karma binds, knowledge frees. We saw that how? By tracing the family tree of avidya, atma, ajnanam. Then we also saw how this knowledge is pramana. Second thing is pramana, a special means of knowledge to which we do not have access any other way. A means of knowledge which comes to us in the form of words handled by a proficient, competent teacher. How did the teacher get proficient and competent? Because of studying with their teachers. And so, the Shastra is a special pair of eyes to see that which is not an object, namely the eye who is free. First eye, second eye. We saw that. And so, just like I have confidence in my eyes. What do I say normally? I saw it with my own eyes. I know I'm right. That same confidence should be there with regard to the Shastra Pramana, with regard to the words of the Vedam. Same confidence, that same reverence, that same faith, pending understanding, the trust must be there for it to be, understood as a Pramana. So that is the second thing we saw. Then we saw that there is the need for Viveka as part of the methodology. The author himself says that Tattva Viveka Prakaram Vakshyamaha. We are going to tell you the Tattva. That's all he should have said. But why this word Viveka comes in? Viveka here means the discernment, a certain discrimination, because there is a kind of a confusion. If there was no confusion there, then the discrimination is not needed. Like supposing somebody wants to know what is pot, let's say somebody has come from Mars, and then they don't know pot. You just have to show and say this is what is called pot. Finished. Nothing more. Because This is easy with all the objects that are totally unknown to me, because about them I do not have an opinion. For them, I do not have an agenda already. So when something is totally unknown, it can be taught. When something is totally known, it need not be taught. Right? So if it is a pot that is already known, we don't have to do a PhD on the pot. Why? Because it is already known. Then what requires teaching here, a special kind of a teaching using this pramana in the form of a methodology, using viveka, a certain discernment, is when there is room for confusion. A totally unknown thing cannot cause confusion. Like an unknown rope, right? You go to in the middle of the night, it's pitch dark, Amavasya, we have to specify all these things. Otherwise, people will think, what about moonlight? Okay, no moonlight, no candlelight, nothing, no light, pitch dark. And there is a rope. Is it known as a rope? No, it's neither known as a rope nor known as a snake. No rope, no snake. Therefore, no aropa possible. Then you go and let's take the same rope, you encounter it in the middle of the day. What is it now? A known rope, correct? Can you see a snake on a known rope? No, not possible. So over an unknown rope, there is no confusion possible, no mix-up possible. Over a known rope, there is no mix-up possible. That's why this example, the key player in this example is the time of the day in which the example is placed, situated. What is that? Twilight. That's the secret. Twilight. And what happens in the twilight? I see something is there. Asti kaschit, something is there. Asti kinchit, something is there. And then, but I don't know what it is. I know it is there. I don't know what it is. Therefore, I come to a certain conclusion that is not correct. The incorrect conclusion or the projection that is driving the incorrect conclusion is because the object is not fully known, or in other words, the object, I have partial knowledge of the object. And even in English, we have a saying, little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Yes. So true it is even with regard to Atma Jnanam. Same way, it is the same truth is there. Even with regard to Atma Jnana, same truth. That's why I keep asking the question, famous question. What is the question? Are you here? Yes, I'm here. Yes, I don't have to ask anybody's permission to declare I'm here. It is self-declaratory, self-luminous, self-evident I. But please don't ask the next question. What is the next question? Who are you? Then if you ask me what is the next question, then I'll have to answer, how much time do you have to hear all my sordid saga, all these sorry, sad tales about all the things that have happened to me and all the ways in which I'm upset, all the ways in which I'm tired, all the ways this is what it is. The conclusion. See, the I is known because it is not an object. It is the truth, the content of the very subject. And so the I is definitely known. Self-evident, self-effulgent. What is that I? Awareness. It's awareness. I am aware of myself. I am self-aware. I am conscious of myself. I am self-conscious. So this awareness, this consciousness need not be established. Even if 100 pramanas came in the world, they don't establish the Atma, the I. Oh, I thought we were studying Vedanta to understand the I. Now you are saying it is not established. It's not established because it need not be established. Just like when the sun is shining, you don't have to hold a flashlight towards the sun to demonstrate this is the sun. In the same manner, you don't have to light up this eye. You need not light it up. Not only you cannot light it up, you need not at all light it up because it is self-lit. So what other pramana is needed? It is not needed. The pramana, the means of knowledge called Vedanta Shastra, walks in with the second question. What is the second question? What is the nature of this I? That is where the confusion is. That is where the fears and tears and the wrong conclusions reside. And the wrong conclusions are based on anubhava, experience. Experience that is contradictory to what I know to be the truth of myself. Deep down, somewhere underneath, I know I'm not supposed to be sad. I know that. I'm not supposed to be anxious. I know that also. Why only you? Even the pharmaceutical companies understand. That's why there are so many more antidepressants in the market. Because they too understand, without having even touched a book on Vedanta, they understand the nature of the self is Ananda. They understand that. I'm not supposed to be anxious. I'm not supposed to be sad. So this goes to show that the daily experience, the empirical lived experience, is contradictory to the truth, the reality, Tattva. That is why the Viveka is needed. It's contradictory. Because otherwise, if the pramana is there, and if the knower is there, the pramana is there, the object of knowledge is there, the knower, means of knowledge, objects of knowledge are aligned together in one single line, then what should happen? Knowledge should take place. But it does not take place. I have to keep hearing again and again and again. Knowledge does not take place. So why does the knowledge not take place? There could be certain pratibandhas. Some factors should be there, obstructing factors. One thing is that we can say it is possibly a doshita pramana, a means of knowledge which is vitiated, polluted by wrong means of knowledge, perhaps. But we cannot say the Vedanta is a wrong means of knowledge. Why? Because so many sages, gurus have gained this knowledge using that same method. Either we have to accept that nobody has self-knowledge. And if we say nobody has self-knowledge, then you have to ask the question, what am I doing here? Right? So that we are not ready to accept because there is hope, there is want, there is need to understand that. And so if we accept the other reality, which is that there are people who have gained this knowledge, that means what? Pramana works, knowledge has taken place, knowledge is gained. So if the knowledge is gained, if the pramana works, that means it is not dushita. It's not vitiated by anything. It's not a polluted pramana. Pramana is intact. Then maybe the object itself is something wrong with the object. The means of knowledge, we have contradicted that it is, what is that? Vitiated, polluted. Means of knowledge are intact. Maybe something is wrong with the object. Meaning, maybe the Atma is a sad Atma. Very sad Atma. Once I had to introduce one Swami in some public forum. And so they called and said, we don't know anybody else who can introduce, can you please introduce? I said, sure. What is his name? American. Sadananda. I said, Sadananda. I said, no. What was his name? Sadananda. Yes. But this is the mistake we make. So, maybe the Atma is sad. Even though it's supposed to be Ananda, maybe it is sad. That's why the Pramana which reveals Atma and Ananda cannot work because the Atma is sad. I am essentially a sad person. Intrinsically sad. Not incidentally sad, intrinsically sad. I was born sad, my mother was born sad, my father was born sad. Great-grandfather, great-grandmother, every sad parampara. Nobody is ready to accept this. And so therefore, we cannot say that the object here, which means the subject I, is wrong or the object is not wrong, the pramana is not wrong. What else is left? Subject, the knower, pramata. Here we can say that if we are coming to certain conclusions that have to be examined, if we are relying on certain experiences which have to be questioned, and that means that there is some preparation needed for the pramata, the jnata, the potential knower to know this knowledge. It's not a problem. It's something to cultivate. That's all it is. Cultivation of such something is needed in order to be able to see. Even like, supposing I have to see something and I cannot see, what will I do? I have to go to the optometrist, get the eyes tested, and then get the glasses. With the help of glasses, I can see. So in the same way, I need to have some qualifications, some background values, attitudes that will help me see what I cannot see, given that the pramana is sound and the prameya, that which is to be known, is also sound. This is the whole premise. The conclusion has to be examined. And what is the conclusion based on? Experiences. Therefore, the experience has to be examined. This is the Vivek. Like that, we have so many examples. Sunrise. Does the sun rise? Say no, so we can move on. Yeah. Does the sun rise? Does the sun set? No. But yet, we can enjoy the sunset. We can enjoy the sunrise rising behind that very mountain here. Beautiful it looks. We can enjoy that, even though knowing full well from 4th class geography class that the earth is what is traveling. The sun is not traveling at all. This, even though it is negated by knowledge, the experience is contrary to the knowledge. But now, since I know that, I can enjoy the experience. If I didn't know that, then there would be anxiety. What's going to happen after night? Is it going to rise again? This would be the anxiety. But I don't have that anxiety. I can enjoy it knowing that there is a universal law, Ishvara's law, which makes the planets go in a certain orbit, which makes the earth go around the sun. In the same way, we don't use our experiences to come to the wrong conclusion about ourselves. We use the experiences to question the very conclusions. That, in short, is Vedanta. So let us go further. We saw last time sadhana chatushtaya sampanna adhikarinam moksha sadhanabhutam tattva viveka prakaram vakshyamaha. And then, the whole thing is presented in the form of a dialogue. Dialogue between the teacher and the student. It is called samvada. There are many kinds of dialogues. Samvada. Vada, what you have with your friends. Shall we go here? Shall we go see this movie? No, this movie doesn't have very good reviews. Let's go see another movie. Vada. Samvada, a sacred dialogue between the teacher and the student, where the student's main motivation for interaction, asking questions, is for gaining clarity, not for showing off, not for having some kind of argument. This is Samvada. This is what this dialogue. There are two other kinds of vadas also. Jalpa. Jalpa means like an interfaith dialogue. Everybody from all the religions come, they just talk about their own religion and go away. No communication, no interaction, inability to see another's point of view. Jalpa. And if you think that is bad, wait till you hear what Vitanda is. Vitanda means anything that you say is wrong because you said it. This is Vitanda. So here there is Samvada modeled after the Upanishads. And why is there Samvada? For two reasons. One is because this is not like a blind swallowing of whatever is said. The Mahavakya is presented as an equation to be understood. It's exactly like a mathematical equation. If supposing the third grade math teacher said 20 minus 11 is 9. And if the student says, ma'am, I believe you. Sir, I believe you. I have so much Shraddha in you, yes. I will just take it down. Will it work? No. The student has to come to that same conclusion by employing the method of subtraction here, or addition as the case may be. You cannot say, I believe you. There is no belief involved here. Belief is for certain things that are not verifiable. You have many kinds of non-verifiable beliefs, heaven, etc., non-verifiable belief, that the body will survive after death, non-verifiable belief, that my karmas will take me to heaven and other places, which we need not mention, non-verifiable belief, that once I go to heaven, I will enjoy myself there, non-verifiable belief. Where is the veracity for this? Where is the proof? No proof. And you will never have proof. You may have a foreign returned Indian, but you'll never have a heaven returned person to come and tell you. You never have that. And so, therefore, this is not this is not based on a belief. It is you. Are you verifiable or not? Yes, I exist. I know I am. So there is no question of belief. It is a question of trust. A trust pending understanding. And so therefore, the whole pursuit takes on a different turn. And therefore, it is in the form of a dialogue. That is one reason, because the student asks, and the teacher responds. The second reason it's in the form of a dialogue is because it breaks up the monotony. Otherwise, it's just a preaching. It's not a teaching. For it to be a teaching, there has to be some interaction. And here we see some interesting trivia, details about the teachers. What do we see? The teacher is not named. The student is also not named. Doesn't matter. We know the existence because the dialogue is taking place. And the teacher is of few words. After saying this big, what is that? Sadhana chatushtaya sampanna adhikarinam moksha sadhana bhutam tattva viveka prakaram vakshyamaha. Teacher keeps quiet. Then the student has to ask. Why should the student ask? To show that the jignasa, the desire to know, has to remain constant in us. We should be in the place of wanting to know, wanting to know, wanting to know, as is demonstrated by this student and other students in the Upanishad and the Bhagavad Gita. And so therefore here, then the student here asks. What does the student ask? Obviously, a lot of words were said, and the most difficult expression was sadhana chatushtaya. So then, let us read sadhana chatushtayam kim nitya nityavastu vivekaha vihamutra alabhoga viragaha. And then what is Shamadhi, Shakka, Sampattihi, Mumukshutvam, Chaiti. So the student asks, what is Sadhana Chatushtaya? Big word. What is this 4 things? You have to know 4 things. This seeker, the pramata, the knower of this truth, the potential knower of this truth, must be equipped by these 4 qualifications. Naturally, the question arises, what are the 4 qualifications? And they are listed here. First one is called Viveka. Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka. Viveka is we have already seen the word Viveka. What does it mean? Okay, yeah. Discrimination, discernment. So, Viveka is between what and what? Nitya and Anitya. This is the problem. This is our problem. Always going after Anitya. Not knowing what Nitya is. Since Nitya is invisible, Nitya being myself, not visible, does not make a sound, cannot be grasped by the sense organs or the organs of the senses, does not have a particular color, jati, does not have a lineage. How are you going to see what this is? I just know it as I. But the nature of the I, therefore, is not known, and so therefore, there should be a discernment between Nitya and Anitya. Very easy. Nitya is I. The object that I want to know happens to be the subject I. Therefore, he uses a very important word, vastu, thing. Vastu means thing. In the Sanskrit language, the word vastu is reserved for this reality. Because it is the only thing that there is, it's the only thing that to be known, it's the only thing that is worth being called a thing. Everything else is no thing. In other words, nothing. Everything else is nothing. Not worth being called a thing. So what am I pursuing? Nothing. If I'm pursuing fame, I'm pursuing nothing. If I'm pursuing a PhD, sorry to say, I'm pursuing nothing. If I'm pursuing a big, big bank balance, what am I pursuing? Nothing, even though you have to say that with gritted teeth. Nothing, not bad. Still nothing. The only thing worth pursuing is that which is called aham, I. I am the only thing that there is that is worth being called a thing. Everything else is nothing. This is very brilliantly and beautifully illustrated in the 7th chapter of the Chandogya Upanishad. Narada, very erudite sage, goes to Sanat Kumara. Sanat Kumara is one of the sages seated under Lord Dakshinamurti. Don't ask me which one. Pick anyone. It is Sanat Kumar. Okay, anyone you like. He goes for instruction. He says, I know so much, but Shochami, I'm still subject to grief. Please take me out of this grief. Cause me to cross this ocean of sorrow. And Narada is not some roadside riffraff. He's a famous person. Sanat Kumara then wants to know, what is it that you know, Narada? Tell me so that I can decide whether to begin Vedanta 001, Vedanta 101, Vedanta 201. Where should I begin? Vedanta postgraduate, where should I begin? So he lists half a page, almost 3/4 page of all his knowledge and accomplishments, which go in run-on sentences without even a full stop. He knows the Vedas, he knows the Vedangas, things connected to the Veda. He knows the Upavedas. He knows astrology, astronomy, how to understand the stars. He knows how the art of warfare. He knows Ayurveda. He knows this Veda, that Dhanur Vidya, every Vidya he knows. Sanat Kumara then says, I understand the problem. Narada, you know a lot of nothing. So if I know a little bit of nothing, what is that? Nothing. If I know a lot of nothing, it is still nothing. That's why it is called Vastu Viveka. Viveka about this Vastu, the only thing that is worth being called an existent thing. Thing means that which exists. That is the basic definition of a thing. The whole universe of objects are just words with meaning. What is pot? Word and meaning. What is cat? Word and meaning. What is table? A word which has a meaning which we collectively know. What is chair? Word and meaning. What is sunrise? Word and meaning. What is chocolate cake? No, not chocolate cake. Even chocolate cake. Word and meaning. The whole world is nothing but word and meaning, word and meaning, word and meaning, word and meaning, word and meaning. 5 elements, word and meaning. Everything is word and meaning. That which is the observer of all the words and meanings, where all the words and meanings resolve into whom, and from whom where all the words and meaning ensue. That is aham. That is the only existent thing, entity. Every other existence is dependent upon that, just like the table, your table, this table, all the tables in the room are dependent upon wood. Exactly. They're all dependent upon wood. They don't have a reality. Can you say, please give me the table, but keep the wood? You can never say. I would if I could, but I can't. You can't keep the wood and then give somebody the table. Wood is indeed table. The whole world of table is nothing but wood. But in a moment we can understand this. In fact, we transcend it also by the English expression touch wood. Touch wood means, God forbid, may this not happen. It's an expression. When I say touch wood, what am I touching? Table. I'm not touching wood. I'm touching table. But I'm transcending, going beyond the structure, the nails, the paint, the varnish, whatever it has, the legs, the akara of the table is all just I'm seeing beyond that. I'm looking at the only existent thing that defines the existence of the table. Touch wood, simple. And then in America, if nothing else is there, they say touch wood. No comment on that. Simple expression, touch wood. We do this transcendence every day in so many ways that we do not even know. So the only existent thing is I, everything else is dependent reality. Empirical reality, dependent reality, mithya, dependent. Just like the pot relies on clay for its existence, no clay, no pot, no gold, no ornament, no wood, no table. Similarly, no Atma, no Jagat, no Atma, no words, no meanings. What is this Atma? I don't think it is something out there. It's not an object. It's very much me. And since the world of objects enters our sense organs every day on a daily basis, the differentiation, the subtle viveka is needed between the I that is not a product. Nitya is not a product. It was never born, therefore it will never die. Anitya is that which is subject to birth, therefore subject to death. Birth and death, birth and death, birth and death. The one who observes the birth and death of everything, starting with one's own body, is what? Nitya. Everything else, Anitya. He will himself tell all that. This is Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka. Then the second qualification is called Vairagya. Iha means Asmin Janmani, here in this world right now. Amutra, elsewhere, means hereafter. Phalabhoga Viraga. Viraga, Vairagya, we'll see soon what that is. Vairagya is defined by the desirelessness for the enjoyment of the fruits of action, phalabhoga, in the here and the hereafter. Because this is what is called viraga. Raga, certain desire, coloration, desire. Viraga, being devoid of that desire, the state of desirelessness, not the state of desirelessness, so I should have a boring life and I shouldn't desire anything. No. Here, that's why the viveka comes first. Viveka means deciding what is it that I want. And vairagya means dropping the things that do not belong to this pursuit. That is vairagya. Viraga. It's just allowing things to drop. Vairagya is like a bald man going through the shampoo section of the supermarket. Hair product and shampoo section. How will he go? How will he go through those aisles? Aisles means those rows of where the hair products are kept. He will see shampoo, he will see conditioner. Does he want any of those? No. What else is left? He will see hair gel. He will see all other things for the hair to make the hair soft. And if the hair is curly, to make it straight. If the hair is straight, to make it curly. All kinds of things will be there. And here is this person full of vairagya for those products. Those products have no meaning for him at all. In terms of these rows and rows of hair products, he becomes a sadhu, complete vairagya, totally vairagya. Why? Because as the hair started to drop, the desire for the hair products also what? Started to drop. Along with each hair, the desire also started to drop. First, the dropping of the hair was a hair raising issue. But then every lotion and potion was tried. Nothing worked. And so then therefore what? Along with that, the desire for all the hair products to enjoy wavy curly hair was all dropped. This is Vairagya. This is an important qualification. He will himself describe what it is. Now that we will see. This is just a list here. He lists it first. So, Iha Amutra. Amutra means elsewhere. Already I have so many desires here, and all these desires boil down to not wanting a sense of self-hatred, not wanting self-judgment, wanting a sense of security. This is what one is wanting. And so, viraga means letting the things that I think can make me secure, allowing them to drop. When one is there, say that again. Kindly repeat. Okay. Viraga is the absence of wanting. Those things that I think can make me secure. Why? Because in the vision of the Shastra, I am already secure. Dropping those things which I think I need because I'm insecure is Vairagya. To take another example which has been everybody's experience. When one is a small child, one clings to a toy, teddy bear, stuffed toy, teddy bear, because why? You can hug it when the mummy is not there. Hug the teddy bear. The child derives a lot of security. The child, eternally insecure, derives a lot of security from the teddy bear. So much so that the mother said, let me wash it for you. It will not give even for the wash. Mother has to wash it when it is asleep. It will not give. And that same teddy bear is all ragged, one eye missing, and one ear all chewed up. Still the child cannot be without this teddy bear. And then now what? Now you are teddy bear jnani. You have grown up. You may have saved that teddy bear to give to your own child. But you don't want to play with it. You don't want to have this teddy bear with you at all the time. I'm going for a job interview, so one hand teddy bear, another hand in the mouth. I'm afraid. You don't do that. Another thumb to suckle the thumb. That's another example. You don't do that. Although some people in America, they still have adults. Somebody said, come please see my house. And then they had teddy bears on the bed. So I said, oh, is this your child's bedroom? They said, no, we don't have children. I said, I better keep quiet. I said, better not to say anything. So, barring those few aberrations, we have outgrown the teddy bears. We have outgrown the car, the lorries, which children play. Little train sets. And then what is the thing that you put together? Lego. Yeah, you have let go of the Lego. You totally let go of it. You don't need Lego anymore. In the same way, the objects of enjoyment start dropping the more we understand the truth of who I am. This is both a qualification and the phala of this knowledge. Because the source of contentment being myself, I don't need anything from outside to be a source of comfort. This has to be cultivated, and then it becomes a natural trait. And this is iha amutra. Sometimes what happens is that one wants to secure a certain kind of a arakshanam, reserve a place elsewhere also. Here the tables are very coveted. You see here, yeah, this is prime real estate. The place where you sit and your little table, this is your real estate. This is not going to be given up easily at all. Somebody says, I'll give you this. No, no, no. This is where I want to sit. This is where you won't be bribed easily. This is how you reserve. For the next 6 months, this is my place. Even if I'm absent, nobody should come here. I can be absent, no problem. But you should not come here and sit. And so, in the same way, there is the desire to reserve place in heaven. First of all, you don't even know whether you're going there or not. Still, you want to reserve. In fact, some theologies are all based on reserving space in heaven, etc. Whole thing. Life is, the whole point of life, they tell me, is afterlife. I have only one question to ask. If the point of life is afterlife, then why don't I go from afterlife to afterlife? Why this life? Is it a bus stop? I'm waiting for afterlife? Very strange. But even why to talk of other theologies, even in our own theology, if it can be called that, even in the Hindu tradition, in the body of knowledge, in the first portion of the Veda, there is an advertisement for heaven. Please go here. It's wonderful. Very nice. Please go. Like, you have these glossy travel brochures. White beaches, white sands, blue water. One table, 2 chairs, and 1 umbrella. And then 2 drinks. A drink also will have its own umbrella. I haven't figured out why. Why that is, I don't know. But anyhow, it is there. I have seen it. That's all. And then you see that, and a desire is born. Oh my God, my life is terrible. This is what I need to become happy. This is where I need to go. Then you go there innocently, you buy the tickets and go there. The heart sinks into the stomach and is digested also. So much disappointment. Why? Because you realize with the shock that all the other bodies on the beach, all the other tables which were just basically right next to you, you just put your elbow here, the other table is there, the other person is there, and the white sands are full of bodies of various colors. And then the beaches are full of, biting things. And then stingrays and all these things. And then what? And the backdrop, which was not there, is a concrete jungle of various hotels. We have this thing called Photoshop. Photoshop means effectively erasing everything except just selective. So too the Shastra selectively presents heaven. Please go. Ehi, please come. All you have to do is Agnihotra. Oh, that's all? When? All your life. That's all. What is Agnihotra? Very simple. I'll teach you only 2 offerings, okay? Only 2. Oh, I think I can manage that. It's looking nice. 2 offerings. When? at sunrise. Ayyo, I'm not a morning person. Can you give me an option? Before sunrise. Ayyo. Okay, I'll do it. Well, it has to be done twice, morning and evening. All right, I'll do it. Well, it's not complete without all these other satellite rituals. You have to have a full moon satellite ritual. Then, not content with that, you have to have a new moon satellite ritual. Then you have to feed the guests. Then you have to have all these other satellite rituals. And then, if you have done it properly, and if there is not a crack in the brick which you have made, and if the vidhi, the injunctions have been properly followed, maybe you will get a red carpet entrance into heaven. The rays of the sun will take you. Please come, enjoy, please. You, yes. Me, says the Yajamana, me, little old me, being heralded by all these yakshas and heavenly celestial beings. Yes, you. Ah, wonderful. Heaven, very nice. I'm here. I made it. Wait till I send a postcard or an SMS to everybody down there, back there, wherever they are. I'm in heaven. I'm in heaven. Then can I have an audience with Indra? Sure, no problem. We'll arrange it. You need Indra. Ah, selfie, please. Click. As soon as the selfie is clicked, what? Kshine punye martyalokam dhadamiti vishanti. Once the punya is over, back to square one. Back to square. Why? Because yadyatha iha karma chito loka kshiyate tat yatha amutra punya chito loka kshiyate. Just as the enjoyments here are based on karma phala, which is what? Infinite, correct? Finite. So just checking to see if everybody is awake. So just as the karma phala here is finite enjoyment, so too the karma phala there, karma being the punya that you have done, the dana that you have given, the worship that you have done, the dharma that you have followed, is all finite and will result in finite experiences. Before you know it, it's gone. Maybe that's why every newborn baby cries. You know, maybe it was enjoying some concert in heaven and it was rudely brought back. The jiva was rudely brought back. It's lamenting that fact, perhaps, we don't know. So this is the amutra phalabhoga bhoga viraga, knowing that this the impermanent can never become permanent. Shamadhi shatka sampattihi. Sampattihi, treasure. It's very good to call it treasure. You know why? Treasure is not something you accidentally come upon. Treasure is something you slowly, you have to search for it, you have to cultivate it, you have to work hard to get it. Treasure is not given on a platter. That's why they say treasure hunt. You have to hunt. You have to go through obstacles. You have to gain it. So here also it is coveted like a treasure. It is cultivated like the treasure. It is shamaha adihi yasya, meaning that group of things for which the shama is at the beginning of which list is called shamadhi. Shamadhi. So shamadhi means shama, etc. When you say etc., there is the implicit understanding that the things that belong to the etc. fall into the same group. Like if I say hat, coat, and then what else should come? Something in that same jar. Hat, etc. means hat, coat, umbrella. Okay? That's it. Should shoes maybe. It should be all outdoor accoutrements. So if I say hat, etc., you cannot say hat, apple, and pumpkin. This doesn't make sense. So Shama, etc., means of the same nature of that which is called Shama, a tranquil mind, a mind that is not easily disturbed, a mind that, even if it is disturbed, is able to regain its composure very, very quickly. A tranquil mind. Damaha, a certain kind of a discipline with regard to the sense organs and the organs of action. Uparatihi, letting go. Uparatihi is like a mini sannyasa, which we practice every day. Letting go of small stuff helps us to then let go of big stuff. We have to start somewhere. Somebody says something, and I'm itching for an argument. I want to do this, I want to say back, I want to show them the place because I know I'm right. Knowing you are right, can you just let it go? This is Uparati. Because you know you are right. If you know you are right, why do you have to demonstrate to anybody that you are right? Right? I let it go. Uparati. Titiksha, certain kind of a forbearance, the ability to put up with anything uncomfortable for the sake of these teachings. Shraddha, we have touched upon this, trust, reverence for the teaching and for the words of the teacher. Not blind belief, but a trust pending understanding. Samadhanam, focus. Focus. Samadhi, Shatka Sampattihi. Samadhi. And then Mumukshutvam. Mumukshutvam is mentioned separately. The desire for freedom, Mumuksha, Mumukshutvam. The desire for freedom is what is mentioned here separately. Why? Because it's the culmination of all these things, all these qualities. The desire to be free from a sense of bondage, from the feeling that I am incomplete, from self-loathe, from self-judgment, from self-critique. This is mumukshutvam. Cha iti. Iti means thus. End of quotes, quotation marks here. Cha means and in Sanskrit you put the and at the very end. Hat, coat, umbrella, and. This is how you put it in Sanskrit. In English, you would say hat, coat, and umbrella. Here, the cha comes at the end, grammatically. Okay? So, mumukshutvam cha iti. Teacher keeps quiet. Because at any point, there is freedom for the student to get up and go. This is the beauty. There's freedom for the student to get up and go. Yes, I have heard enough. Yes, I have got enough. Yes, let me go. There is not some kind of what is that, requirement that it has to be like this only. There is freedom for the student to go. This is a knowledge which continues as long as the student wants, not as long as the teacher wants. As long as the student wants, the knowledge continues. The student has to say. That's why all these Shama, Dhamma, cultivation, etc. And so the student does not get up and go. What happens? Asks another question. Nitya Nityavastu Vivekaha Nityavastu Ekam Brahma Tadvyatiriktam Sarvam Anityam Ayameva Nitya nityavastu vivekaha. Kaha. What? What, O teacher, is viveka between the nitya and anitya? I don't understand. You mentioned this whole, you rattled off a whole list. Hey Guru, please tell me, what is this first one that you rattled? What is the first one that you listed? Nitya, nitya vastu, vivekaha, kaha. What is that? And then the teacher responds, nitya vastu, nityam vastu, that which we call eternal, forever, is one in number. What kind of one? Non-dually one. There is only one thing that is nitya and everything else is anitya. And everything else other than that is anitya. There is only one thing called nitya that comes, that can be qualified by the word. In fact, it's not even an adjective. It is the definition of this nitya. The very definition of this nitya is only one thing, which occupies the place of nitya. Everything else is anitya, not forever. There's only one thing which is forever. And that happens to be the word. Here the new word is introduced. What is that? Brahma. Brahman. Brahma. Nityam vastu. Ekam Brahma. Ekam. How many Brahmans are there? One. Last time we checked, there was only one Brahman. No other Brahman is possible. Only one Brahman, and this Brahman alone is Nitya. Everything else is what? Anitya, 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 Anitya. Ayameva, this indeed is the Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka. This indeed is the discrimination between Nitya and Anitya. So, Ekam Brahma. Why is the word Brahman suddenly introduced? Because this is going along with the Upanishad. And the Upanishad alone is the primary text, Shruti. The original pramana for this knowledge, and there the word Brahman is used to describe that which is the truth of this I. Aham Brahmasmi. I am that Brahman. I am this Atma, which is Brahman. I am Brahmatma. I am Brahman. I am Atma Brahma. Not I am Atma Brahma. Okay? This is Sanskrit. I am Atma Brahma. Aham Brahmasmi. This Brahman is maybe a new word. It is a new word for us because in this text is first time we are encountering, but basically it is very much proliferates the entire Upanishad, in search of which everybody goes crazy and everybody wants Vedanta. So this Brahman is revealed to be what? Myself alone. Ekam Vastu. And the other reason the word Brahman is given here is to show that it is Shastra. It is taught by the Shastra. Shastropadishta. It is based on the pramana taught by the Shastra. It cannot be found anywhere else. So I have to accept the pramanyam, means the status of the Shastra being a pramana. I have to accept in order to be blessed with this knowledge. So the Shastra pramanya in my head, when I accord the teaching, the status of pramana, a different pair of eyes for me to see what I cannot see with my finite vision, finite means of knowledge that I have at my fingertips, then only I will be blessed with this. This is very important to know, because you cannot derive logically this Brahman. You cannot derive Brahman logically. Logic is inference, is another name for inference. We have all these, we have all these darshanas, matas, based, some philosophers claiming that everything is derived logically. This is not something to derive logically, because what is logic? It's another name for inference, which involves a series of inductions, deductions, and based on that, certain conclusion. We can't infer Brahman, because we are talking of the truth, the content, the nature of the inferer. How can the inferer infer oneself? Not possible. There is karta karma virodha, a contradiction between the knower and the known. Very difficult. So you can't infer the inferer. I cannot know the knower as an object. I cannot infer the inferer, so I cannot stumble upon this knowledge. So therefore, Shastra is the only way, the only pair of eyes through which I can say hello to Brahman as myself, to this knowledge as myself. So Shastra alone I have to resort to. Shastra alone is to the rescue. Therefore, the word from the Shastra is suddenly introduced here. Brahman. Brih dhatu, brihi, vriddhau. Brih means big. Big? What is this big? Big is a relative term. It's an adjective. It's not a noun. Big means it's an adjective. If I say to you, look at this big mustard seed. Where will you look? Somewhere here. Size appropriate. Look at this big mountain. Look up. So big is a qualifier. Big is not big is not a thing. But here, the only thing worth being called a thing is big. Purposely, the Upanishad, the Shastra does not say how big. Because when big is converted into a noun rather than an adjective, there can mean only one thing, limitlessly big. Deshataha, kalataha, vastutaha, aparichinnam brahma. That which is not, what are the constricting factors? Time is a constricting factor because things come in time and go in time. Space is a constricting factor because this is, a certain thing can occupy a certain space at a certain time, space, and object. If something is in the form of the pot, it cannot be also in the form of a hat at the same time. Object-wise limitation, all objects in the universe enjoy starting with one's own body, mind, sense complex. Space-wise limitation, time-wise limitation. This is what we are used to. We are used to limitation, limitation, limitation. And in our everyday language, when we call something big, we say it is more pervasive. Here, when we talk about Brahman as bigness itself, that means what? It is all pervasive. Time is yet to come. Time is relative. Brahman absolute. Space is yet to come. Space is relative. Brahman absolute, ultimate. This Brahman is myself alone. Space, time, come and go. With every sarga, with every creation, rejection, they come and they collapse. Brahman is, therefore space, time, creation is. No Brahman, nothing is possible. And so, therefore, the Shastra's word here is talked about to underscore the importance, the very, very big importance, very, very salience of how without the Shastra, this knowledge of myself as Brahman can never ever be gained, not even in a dream. Not possible. So Nityam Vastu is what? Ekam Brahma. Tad Vyatirikhtam. Anything other than that. And to underscore that, one more word is used. Sarvam, everything. Not anything, everything other than what we have understood as Brahman, myself, free of space, free of time, free of object, free of any other constraints that we can think about. Anityam. Anityam, 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 anityam. It's very beautiful. Very easy, very clear, because now we don't have to worry about it. Even some things that endure in a long time, for a long time, are not eternal. Such as a headache. Oh my God, I have a migraine. I had it yesterday. I had it day before yesterday. I have it today. Why is it migraine? Why is it not somebody else's grain? I'm thinking. So, why is it this migraine? I have an eternal headache. I tell my friend. Is it eternal? No. Because anything we qualify with the word eternal just means that which hangs around in time for a long time. Like a headache, like an unwanted chronic illness, which cannot be cured, which just has to be managed. We think it is eternal. It is not. Tad Vyatiriktam, the word Brahman has appropriated the word eternal. Nitya, that which is forever, appropriated the word real because there is a connection between the real and the forever, which eludes us if we don't really do vichara on it. That which I call real is that which is not bound by time. That's why it is forever. That's why I want everything to last forever. Starting with this body. Everything should be forever, forever, forever. And that which is forever is real. That which is real is forever. And so, therefore, here, Nityam Ekam Vastu Brahma. Very nice, pithy, specific definition. Tad Vyatiriktam Sarvamidam. Whatever else you say, whatever else you see, whatever else you can objectify, whatever else you hear, whatever else is so enticing is Anitya, 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 not forever, even though it may shine as forever because of my lack of Viveka. You see how Viveka, Vairagya, everything come together here. Tad Vyatiriktam Sarvam Anityam. And then there is a Ayameva, he says, this alone is the Viveka. Student does not go away. Student has one more question. Viragaha, Vihasvarga, Bhogeshu, Ichharahityam. O revered Guru, what is Viraga? Viveka, yes, understood. Check, I got it. Now the next one you said, you see, this also gives us a little more information about the student. The student is still remembering what the teacher said a few classes ago. What was that? That whole list. Nitya, Nityavastu Vivekaha, Iha Mutra Phala Bhoga Viragaha, Shamadhi Shakka Sampattihi, Mumukshutvam Cheti. The student remembers. And the student goes back to that list. Need not remember, may have taken notes, which is also very important. So goes back to the notes or the memory. Notes in the memory, note to self, or the note on the pad. Whichever is there, goes back to the list and goes to the next qualification that was talked about, which is what? Viragaha. Viragaha kaha. What is this thing that you are calling viraga? Oh, revered one, please tell me. Iha Svarga Bhogeshu. The same definition that was given before is given, meaning you can't top that definition. Earlier, the teacher said, Ihamutra Phala Bhogeshu Viragaha. Ihamutra Phala Bhoga Viragaha. Here, the same thing is talked about. Iha Svarga Bhogeshu Viragaha. Is Vairagya. Viragasya Bhava is Vairagya. This fly is very interested in this particular qualification. So, then this is what is Viraga. Then if we look at Vairagya, Viraga closely, it seems to be, if it's a procedural thing, you can tell me, otherwise we'll... yeah, Viragasya Bhava. The essence of Viraga is called Vairagya. Viraga-ness is Vairagya. Abstract now. Viraga-hood, Viraga-ness. Desireless, desirelessness. Dispassion, dispassion. Dispassion. Here, when we say dispassion, I see the faces kind of sink. Oh, here we go again. Vedanta is equal to not wanting anything. I have to kiss my life goodbye. Can't enjoy anything. Pujya Swamiji had a very beautiful definition of Vairagya, which is worth looking into. He defined Vairagya as objectivity. It's a beautiful definition. Very beautiful definition. Objectivity. Subjectivity is because I have come to certain conclusions about myself. That I am a vulnerable, sad, and victim of circumstances. That I am incomplete. That I am subject to insecurity, self-loath, self-judgment. This is a subjective conclusion. And because of this conclusion, I unleash a series of activities wanting to make myself secure, wanting to make myself whole, wanting to make myself free, wanting to make myself better and better, wanting to make myself become perfect. See the problem here? This is the problem. What is perfect? I'm trying to make perfect. This is the subjective. So when we define Vairagya as objectivity, and first there are two advantages, thanks to Pujya Swamiji. One is we listen more carefully, because right on the third day of classes, we don't all like, oh, okay, I can't have anything I like. This feeling is not there. I don't feel incapable of Vairagya. I listen more carefully. Second is, it feels within reach. I feel like hopeful to be able to gain this objectivity with regard to the situation. Let us see now what this objectivity is. What is this Vairagya? What is this Viraga? Same thing. One is in abstract noun, that's all. What is this Vairagya? It's like a person who says, I have many pursuits. I don't have time for Vedanta because I have to go here, I have to go there, I have to do this, I have to do that. The Shastra helpfully also says, yes, all these pursuits for your sake, we have divided into 4. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. You can go here, you can go there, you can do this, you can do that. The Shastra is helpless because the desires are so many and the desires are so urgent, not just many, but also very urgent, that the Shastra feels the need to do this. Artha, we are told, is security, a pursuit of security. But when we apply the lens of Vairagya on this pursuit of security, we find a very important component that was missing before this lens was applied. Am I seeking security or am I seeking freedom from insecurity? Freedom from insecurity I'm seeking. I'm not seeking to be secure. Because if I'm not already secure, I'll never become secure. I'll just become insecure. The insecure and insecure person goes for education. Now educated but insecure. Correct? Insecure person goes for a job, educated, employed, and insecure. And after that, what comes? The educated, employed person goes for marriage with another educated, employed person. Insecure plus insecure, doubly insecure. It's like putting lipstick on a pig. Yeah. Put lipstick on a pig. Does it transform into an angel or a model? No, still a pig. Yeah. This is a Western expression. We have our own homegrown expression, putting a Kanjivaram sari on a broomstick. Yeah. You dress the broomstick with a nice pleated Kanjivaram sari. Dress it. What is it? Broom, jhadu, yes. It's all it will be. So similarly, the insecure person is dressed up with all kinds of things. Dressed up with job, dressed up with money, dressed up with whatever. So if I'm by nature insecure, like the pig and the broomstick, the pig sthaniya we have to take, that which represents the pig and the broomstick in this example, I will always be insecure. This is the Viveka and Vairagya acting together, in tandem. Understanding this, that if I'm already insecure, nothing can make me secure. That means there's only one thing possible. There's only two possibilities. Sorry about that. Two possibilities. One is I should be happy being insecure. Because if that is my reality, we should all say, oh, this was a very good week. We felt very insecure. We should congratulate each other. If something secure happened, then we should just say, oh, so sad, you're such a dharmic person and you're getting security. Terrible. We don't do that. It's contrary to experience. And so that means that I must be already secure. The insecurity is like the sunrise and the sunset, an apparent reality, an experienced reality, but not really that which is a nitya, an undeniable reality. It is not a non-negatable reality. It is not. So, therefore, artha is freedom from crutches. Freedom from insecurity, because everything else that I want is just a crutch, one more crutch. And I hate these crutches. I don't want to be dependent on this to have a sense of self. But no matter how famous I become, how accomplished I become, I still have this feeling that I'm not okay. So are artha and moksha two separate purusharthas? No. Artha is swallowed into moksha. Freedom from insecurity is moksha. So from 4 purusharthas, what do we have? 3. Only 3. Take kama now. Pleasures, small and big happinesses that we can encounter. Are you trying to be happy or are you wanting to not be unhappy? This is again the Vairagya, Viveka, asking the correct questions. Objectivity here. This is objectivity. Am I seeking freedom from happiness or am I wanting happiness? If you want happiness, then that means it is available somewhere. It must be available at some locus. We should be able to go buy it in the market. Then none of us would be here. We would be, going and filling up somewhere. That's not a possibility. There is no happy thing. There is no happy place. Even though you say I went for a vacation at that time in this place, I was very happy. You go there again, you're disappointed. Why? Because you took yourself with you. That's enough. That's enough to be disappointed. You were there. That's enough. No happy place. No happy thing. No, maybe there is happy time. In America, they have this happy hour. No, everybody seems to know what it is. Where certain intoxicating substances are half off. It's happy hour only for the bartender, okay? Yeah. Not for anybody else. Most unhappy people go there. There is no happy place, there is no happy time, there is no happy thing. I am that happiness, which is very clear in sleep, whether the sleep comes where? In Vedanta class, or outside of Vedanta class. This much is very clear. I'm a very, very happy person. Very clear. This is Vairagya. And the dispassion, which is a common, what is that called? Common definition of Vairagya is the phala of this objectivity. The phala of this objectivity is letting the teddy bears drop, letting the security blankets drop, letting everything that I rely on, allowing it to drop. That is what it is. What we'll see in a few days, I have a little bit of travel, so I'll be going, when am I going? Today. Yes, and so Sakshat Swamiji, Acharya Swamiji, will take the value of values, a few verses from the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, and I will be back on the, we will have class again at 12th morning, we will continue with this. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Hari Om. Also, we are wanting 10-12 volunteers to get the yoga stuff here, the mats, the props, the blankets, to the place where the yoga will be conducted, which is the classroom above the dining hall. So can I just have a show of hands, please? Yes? Yeah. So please report to here Anil or Radha. They will coordinate. And so today after lunch, we need these things, these ropes and props gone over there. Okay? Thank you very much.